What's good, y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, aka Peter Mac. Hey man, get on up here, man. Kick your shoes off, pull you up one, and light you up one. You on the porch now? It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this. I'm back, people. What's happening with y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, aka Peter Mac. Welcome back to the porch, everybody. How y'all doing? Glad to be kicking it with y'all once more. We back. We made it through the grind of the week. I mean, some of us may have had a great week, some of us may have had a bad week, but regardless, we here. All of us are here. I'm here with y'all. Y'all here with me, and I'm glad. This is the highlight of my week, is getting to talk to y'all. I mean, for me, nothing really significant to report on what went down this week. It was a week. Like, wasn't bad, it wasn't great. I ain't gonna say it was like Goldilocks said in the Three Little Bears. It was just right. It was just a week, man. It's always a pleasure to be back here talking to y'all. It's a great thing that I want to talk about. The Olympics is over. In America, we did our thing in the Olympics this year. I'm proud of us. We really did our thing. We brought home a lot of gold. A lot of people got to shine. Number one person I'm happy who got to shine, because she was just catching it throughout these past years, just setbacks from personal issues she was dealing with, profiling she had to deal with, but she came in, she did her thing, and that's Sha'Carri Richardson. Sha'Carri did her thing. She brought home that gold in the 4x100, man. Boy, it was just, woo, that girl. She came off the block a little late, as an ankle. But once she got that stretch, it was off to the race. She was going. She knew it to it, but you saw the look on her face. She was like, I did it. And we are so proud of you, baby. The brothers and sisters of the United States, we proud, baby. We always knew you could do that. We are so happy for you. You are the modern day Flojo. You know what? Let me scratch that. No, you are the current day you. You're not anybody's legacy. You creating your own legacy, and I love that for that young sister, man. Just sad to see we ain't gonna see track for real no more, because I'm not gonna lie, I do like watching track, seeing how fast the women are. But y'all see them track outfits, they be showing off the legs, and you're working on your legs, that butt is gonna look nice. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm managed. I'm ogling them women. They over 18, I'm gonna ogle them. Argue with your mammy. So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do now. And I'm also happy because the USA men and women's basketball team both brought home the gold. And one reason why I'm happy that they both brought home the gold is because one of the people on the men's basketball team is hometown hero. That's right, from my hometown, Moss Point, Mississippi. Devin Booker. We got him a gold in the Olympics. I'm so happy. I feel like how 8Ball did when he his lyrics on Just Like Candy. That's the way you do it, baby. Represent your home. When he was said he talked to Penny on the phone. Of course, I ain't talking to Devin Booker on the phone, but I was watching the TV. Like, that's the way you do it, baby. Represent your home. And it was so great to see that his father actually was over there with him. His father, Melvin Booker, who's also a Moss Point High School basketball legend who went on to play in Missouri and then went on to play in the NBA as well as overseas. And to see that man, see his son shine, that is great, because that they work hard over the years. I'm gonna tell y'all straight like that, they work hard. So, little story. So right after I graduated from college, I went to the local high school, Moss Point. As a matter of fact, I went back home and I just asked the head coach there, could I volunteer coach, just help volunteer coach. I wasn't really doing nothing. I ain't have a job for real or anything like that. And I've always liked high school basketball. Never got a chance to play it, but I love the atmosphere, the music being played on the loudspeaker while they warming up, the smell of the popcorn, the hot dog, the squeaking of the sneakers, it's a fashion show in the stands. I've always just loved that atmosphere, so I just wanted to be closer to it. Now, while I was there, Devin Booker had just transferred to Moss Point. And I remember watching him in practice and everything, and I was like, this kid is going to go on. I knew he was going to go on to do greater things and be in the NBA. I just didn't know it was going to be at this magnitude. So to tell my kids, I saw him back when it all got started for him, I'm not gonna say, oh, I knew him or nothing like that, because I wasn't able to coach that long, because I ended up getting a job and my schedule deconflicted, and the brother probably won't even remember me, 'cause I was there about a month or two. But just to tell my kids, I got personal joy out of saying I sat there and watched this young brother when his game was starting to flourish in high school. That's gonna resonate with me. And the one thing I did love about him playing in the Olympics, the number he wore number 15. Now, for a lot of y'all who don't know, that was his father's number. His father, Melvin Booker, that was his basketball number 15. Matter of fact, you go to Moss Point High School, it's retired right there in the lobby of Arthur Haynes Gymnasium in Moss Point High School. So it was just so much, because 15 is a magical basketball number. A lot of people wore 15. Earl Porter Award in New York, Latrell Sprewell Award when he was with Golden State, right when he choked out PJ Carlesimo. Benny Johnson of the Microwave Award with the Bad Boys, countless people. But the number one person who I know that wore number 15 was my older brother, Tony Lewis, aka TL. He wore when he played in Moss Point. So, he was always a big figure to me, and not just basketball, but in life. So I'd love to see anybody wear the number 15 basketball. That's just like one of my personal numbers that I like to see wearing basketball. But shout out to Devin Booker and the rest of the men's basketball team, and as well as the women's basketball team. Y'all did it. Y'all brought home the gold. We're so proud of you. Now let's go on and move on and talk about some stuff that happened in the Olympics that just can't say that we wasn't proud of us. It just all had us sitting there like, what the hell are we looking at? And that was the breakdancing portion of the Olympics. I gotta excuse me and give me a moment, man, because I gotta sit here and just, Jesus be with me. Jesus keep me to the cross for what I'm about to say, because I don't want to go on no tangent and I don't want to cuss too much. I'm probably gonna let some cuss words leak out. So if anybody hearing this and my mama end up hearing it, just tell her to charge it to my head, not my heart. Cause so and here's the thing, I was one who was for breakdancing being there, because breakdancing is a very physical activity. It takes a lot of physicality and everything. And I remember a couple people were saying, well, I don't understand why they putting breakdancing in it. People was like, oh, they don't understand. And I told people, I was to be honest, if America don't win it, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be Japan or Korea, because Japan and Korea, they are very big in the hip-hop culture. And some places you go, they still kind of like have people who were kind of stuck in the late 80s and 90s late 80s, early 90s when it comes to hip-hop culture. So I was like, well, if America don't take it home, I know somebody at age like I said, Japan or Korea are going to take it home. But that wasn't really what was embarrassing. First of all, I don't know what the hell was half of that shit I saw, because half of that stuff wasn't breakdance. I don't know, half of that stuff looked like people. So I've lived in the Pacific Northwest, and you live around the Seattle area and everything, now in the Portland area. And in the Pacific Northwest, they have a huge drug problem, mainly fentanyl and methamphetamine. A lot of them people that was in the Olympic breakdancing event looked like a lot of tweakers that I saw up there. I didn't know whether to sit there and be embarrassed, boo, or throw them a couple of dollars for like, here, just man, go get you something to eat. Just make sure you get something to eat. Because that's how I felt. I felt like how I felt past a couple of tweakers on the street up there in the Pacific Northwest. It's just like, I'm not even going to judge you. I'm just going to try to give you some money. Hopefully you don't go smoke it up. Hopefully you go get you something to eat, because you really look like you can use something to eat. And the number one person who was a big candidate for that was the Australian breakdancer Rachel Gunn, or Ray Gunn as she called herself. I do not know what the hell I saw looking at that woman. It looked like, it just, I don't, It looked like a dog who got fleas and they're trying real hard to get the fleas off because they can't scratch, so they're rolling around on the carpet on his side and going around in the circle. That's what she looked like. It looked ridiculous. It just looked like, y'all know how when you hit a roach with Raid, and you know everybody knows you black 9 times out of 10, you didn't hit that roach to the point where you done sprayed them so much that they white. You know how the roaches be freaking out and like all their systems is like starting to short circuit after you just sprayed them. That's honestly what she looked like when she was dancing. That girl got up there and made a damn fool out of herself. Class A fool. Like, to be honest, it's like what them older black people say when you go somewhere. Said she got up there and embarrassed herself in front of all them white folks. And even though she white, she Australian, but she got herself up there and embarrassed herself in front of all them good white folks. She was so terrible that the Olympics in 2028 decided to say, yeah, we ain't doing this no more. We're not having breakdancing no more. It's sad because for a lot of people who don't know, LA got a lot of poppers and lockers. You know, breakdancing. Breakdancing 9 times is broken down into kind of like 2 different sections. You got the poppers and you got the lockers. So they both combine. They both, if you put them both together perfectly, that's the quintessential breakdancer. And a lot of y'all seen it, like if you watch Colors or any like gang movies, street hood movies from like the late 80s, early 90s, you always see somebody in LA, in a LA gang that's popping and locking and doing all of that stuff. So for her to get that canceled before they could get to LA, oh my God, I know it's a lot of lockers and poppers in LA who probably would have had a great chance to make the American team. And now they not gonna get their chance. I know they somewhere punching air and cussing this woman out, calling her everything but a child of God. Cause I'm not gonna lie, to be in LA and in the Olympics and you popping and locking and you from somewhere like Long Beach, Inglewood, like Watts, like East LA, Torrance or something like that, that would have been amazing. That would have been a great thing for the city. But now they can't have it. And it makes me so mad because there's a spirit of 2 of the greatest dancers that ever lived. I know they up there in heaven rolling over. That is Shabba-Doo from Breaking. For a lot of y'all don't know, Breaking actually took place in LA. That's actually, for a lot of y'all don't know, that's actually how Ice-T, the rapper Ice-T, y'all know from New Jack City, Law and Order and all that. That's actually how he got his first piece of national exposure, was on Breaking, rapping on the movie Breaking. And also rerun from the 70s show What's Happening. What's Happening, for those y'all don't know, that was actually a TV adaptation of one of my favorite movies from the 70s, Cooley High. Yeah, they up there, I know they up there just like, I know you fucking lying. I know you lying. But she disrespected them 2 men's memories to the fullest. That just was, oh my God, that was just one of the most cringe-worthy moments of the Olympics. And then I found this out like yesterday. So apparently she claimed she got a PhD in breakdancing. Whatever school that gave her that, I'm not going to say it's not possible that she got it, because a lot of people, I don't know what school gives you breakdancing and all that. If y'all know anything about college athletics, like especially a lot of these Division I programs, they be having a lot of them athletes enrolled in some of the most mundane majors. Like the joke is basket weaving and all that type of stuff. So it's not that far-fetched that you could probably get one in breakdance. But to the school that gave her that, you need your accreditation taken immediately. Because what in God's name was that you exposed us to if you did give that woman a PhD in breakdance? And on top of that, I found out, so they was talking about, like, she doctored her and her husband. They kind of doctored up her, ended up being a breakdancer because they had like the National Breakdancing Council in Australia. Well, her husband was like a member and a judge on it, but then they came to find out that there's no such committee or anything like that. It's just the deeper the rabbit hole goes with this woman and her story, the more the whole is just full with bullshit. It was just one of the saddest, disturbing, cringe-worthy moments I've ever seen in my life. As a black man, I felt embarrassed for her. It was terrible. It was god awful. Woo, that was, like I said, so bad. Olympic said, we not doing this no more. And which is crazy, because something that actually takes way more athletic effort than curling got dismissed. Because I don't care what nobody says. I still to this day don't understand curling. I just think it's funny to watch some people brush a little broom back and forth in front of that big disc puck, whatever the hell that thing is. I just think that shit, but it's just fun to watch, because it's just so amusing. Because like them people be working hard, they be like really sweeping hard, real fast and quick. So yeah. Last story, it's not really dealing with the Olympics. It's kind of Olympics based. So Simone Biles' mother said she wanted to reach out to her and wants to reconcile with Simone Biles. Now, for those of y'all who don't know Simone Biles, she was, giving up. Her mother gave up her parental rights, I think, when she was like a toddler, or infant, if I'm not mistaken. She hadn't contacted the girl since she was 3, and now she wants to reconcile. So a lot of people say, oh, it's time for forgiveness and all this, that, and the third. Me personally, I'm one of them people. I don't give people the benefit of the doubt, because I think a lot of people are full of BS. And I think her mother's one of them people. I think her mother just only wants to come talk to her now because she see her daughter has won multiple gold medals and, been in the spotlight. So since she's won multiple gold medals, been in the spotlight over the past few years, you know what her mother's saying? Cha-ching, dollar signs. That's the only reason why her mother wants to reconcile with her now. She don't really care about the girl like that. That's my personal opinion. Because like I said, I have this conversation with my stepmom all the time. My stepmom is one of them people who sees the best in everybody. And I actually talked to her on the phone a couple of days ago, and I said, that's a quality of yours I admire, because I ain't got that quality, and I ain't never got that quality. Because I don't think everybody walking this earth is a good person. I think a lot of people are just some god-awful people. And I think that lady is one of those people that's in the latter category. Because now I can understand back when Simone Biles had first, hit the scene, she was getting a lot of notoriety and all that. I don't understand then. I definitely would understand then. Still would have thought your ass was trying to come out the woodworks to see what you can get out of it, but it would have made more sense. Like, I lost context, I didn't know what was going on, I didn't know the right time. I see you on TV, it hit something in my mind. But to seeing your daughter shining for, if not a decade, almost half a decade, and seeing her win gold medals, seeing her do great in competition, seeing her on TV, seeing all the notoriety she get, and to now all of a sudden you want to come out, I want to reconcile. No, yeah, she's an international household name. Now you want to reconcile. So Simone Biles, I don't know how you feel about the situation. All I'm gonna do is say, like a lot of our ancestors and our elders and stuff, tell them, just pray about it. Ask God to guide your heart. But me personally, I'm gonna be honest, I ain't fucking with it. If I was you, that's just me. If you do accept it, you a better one than me, because I could never do it. I sound like an instigator in a fight. Actually, I used to do that a lot, and I used to get in trouble a lot for that. But anyway, I digress. So, as y'all know, as I mentioned last episode, Bel-Air came back. And Bel-Air actually premiered 2 nights ago on a Thursday, August 15th on Peacock. And Peacock is smart, because I'm going to tell you why Peacock is smart, because it's supposed to be slated for a 10 episode season, but Peacock only gave us 3 episodes. Peacock is smart. You know why Peacock is smart? Because Peacock know that people gonna probably do what a lot of people did when Power came out on Stars. People got subscribed to Stars, got the app when the app first became a thing. Before that, you had to actually go to your y'all remember before the app, you had to actually call your cable provider or go online your cable provider or call like your satellite dish provider, tell them you wanted that channel, and that's what people would do. They would get the channel, watch the whole season of Power, and then cancel it. Which I think that's what Peacock knowing what people were doing. They like, okay, people probably just gonna get this app, watch Bel-Air, and then once Bel-Air is over, they gonna unsubscribe, they gonna cancel their subscription, and we ain't gonna hear from them again until next year about this time. Which is why Peacock pulled, whoever worked at Peacock, I'm pretty sure some of them sold dope in the 80s, preferably crack, because they pulled a crack dealer move from the 80s. They gave us the first 3 episodes, and after the first 3 episodes, now they're gonna start releasing it weekly. So they gave us just enough of a taste to get us hooked, and then like, all right, you just got to stay tuned week by week, which is a smart marketing strategy. I don't blame them at all. And then the last episode that they actually had, it ended on a good cliffhanger. So I definitely like it. Now I'm gonna be honest, for what we have seen in these first 3 episodes thus far, Bel-Air just keeps getting better and better. I love the dynamic writing of the characters. I just love how, if you're a fan of the original show, they bring back storylines and kind of modernize it and updated them, and it's wonderful. Like the kid who plays Will Smith, excuse me, not kid, the young brother who plays Will's character, Jabari Banks, that man does his thing. I remember from watching the first episode of season 1 back when the show premiered in 2022. I was like, this kid, that's what I called him at the time, has Will Smith's essence. It's like, you know how they say, like, people believe in reincarnation, they say you come back but you still have your essence. Like, for example, y'all watched the movie Down to Earth with Chris Rock. Remember Chris Rock? He died, he came back as the old white man, but he still had his soul. But then when it was time for him to go, he ended up getting his like essence in another comedian's body, because he was a stand-up comedian there that didn't do, but he got another comedian's body, and the guy had no recollection of who he was. But it was one thing that he said to Regina King's character, that when he was the other person before his soul transition, said the same exact thing. So that's kind of like how I feel looking at Jabari Banks play Will Smith. I mean, like, even his inflection in his voice and some of his mannerisms and emotions and all that, I was like, this kid got his essence down. But I ended up finding out why that was, because Jabari Banks is actually from West Philly, like Will Smith himself. So I'm like, okay, well, that makes perfect sense. So that was great job of casting on behalf of the producers, creators, and Will Smith. That was y'all got the right person to play that job. The guy who plays Carlton, I don't want to butcher this man's name. So the young man who plays Carlton, he does a good job. And what I like about how they did Carlton, they didn't just make him the butt of all the jokes in there, and they gave him like a little backbone, because if y'all know, the past couple seasons, you know, you see Carlton like throwing down. Carlton be hooking with people, man. Like, he be out there throwing hands. So I like that they gave Carlton a little backbone. They gave him a sense of style. I'm not gonna lie, you can say what you want to say about Carlton. Carlton be fresh. Even though back then Carlton was low key fresh now with all the polo and all that stuff. But yeah, Carlton got some drip about him, and I like how they do that. Another reason why I like the show, because, you know, Uncle Phil, they made Uncle Phil an alpha, and most y'all know, I'm a member of Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, so I like that. That's one little vain personal reason why I like it. And Coco Jones, oh my goodness, that's a beautiful woman now. I like how she portrays Hillary. Hillary has ambition. She not just dense, she not shallow. They got her going through a bit of turmoil in this season, and I just like how they're writing that, and they're having that tension with her and Jazz, who I love. Jazz is they got Jazz a complete 180 from the sitcom in the 90s, because Jazz used to just be dim-witted and just spaced out and in his own world, and just was like your stereotypical ignorant nigga from the hood. But Jazz is like the voice of reason, level-headed, business-minded, and I love that. And I also love the fact that Jazz is shorter than Hillary, and they ain't having Hillary be shallow, like, he gotta be 6 foot, and da-da-da. I like the little dynamic that they have. This is it's just a couple of things though that I really don't like kind of about the show. I really just kind of don't like. Number one is, so Jazz's character is actually from South Central LA. Now, one thing I hate what a lot of TV shows are doing now, because they're trying to get away from the stigma of South Central LA, they don't call South Central LA South Central LA, or just simply South Central. That's what a lot of people call it. They'll say South LA, like Jazz, a lot of scenes, I'm not going to give his spoil, he'll refer to it as South LA, or some other TV show they call it the Southland. It's South Central LA. We all know it's South Central LA. Y'all need to stop that in television and movies, and it's in the Southland, or it's in South LA, he's from South LA. It's South Central Los Angeles, or South Central LA, or simply South Central, or if you want to keep it funky, South Central. There's nothing wrong with it being called that. That's what everybody know it as. Some people like that. It's a worldwide known phenomenon of South Central Los Angeles. We know that's where we gonna get the gangs from. We know that's where we get a lot of hood movies from. We know that's where we gonna get a lot of great rap from. Yeah, I did that because I'm a West Coast rap fan. But I'm just saying, call it South Central LA, man. Now, one thing that I'm kind of, and this is me, I don't know why, I don't know how to feel about Karuchi playing her character Ivy playing the best friend to Hillary now, because they kind of like buddy. Y'all will see it. I'm not going to go into detail. Like I said, I'm not trying to give away no spoilers. But I'm not feeling it. It's just like y'all was at each other's necks last season competing for top dog in the influence house, and on top of that, Ivy was trying to take Hillary's man, but now all of a sudden y'all besties. Yeah, I'm not feeling that dynamic at all. So I don't understand what's going on there. I ain't for it, but it's, people can grow, so maybe they just showing her growth in there. I like the fact they actually brought Marlon Wayans back as Lou Smith, Will's estranged father. He had a scene in there. The acting between Jabari Banks and Marlon Wayans in that scene, phenomenal. Just the dialogue, the tones, facial expressions. I've always said this about Marlon Wayans. I've always said he was the most overall talented out of all the Wayans. Damon is the funniest, hands down, and Keenan is the most successful and the best business-minded one. But overall, all-around talent, acting, funny, being able to emote, feelings and all that hands down goes to Marlon Wayans. And I hope we get to see more of him as season 3 progresses. One thing I kind of didn't like about this season, but it rings true to life. So y'all are going to see Carlton's addiction. Like if y'all remember last season when Carlton was about to win the award, and then he broke down, had his emotional speech about how he's lying and he's a drug addict and all that. You're going to see him doing that, bite him in his ass. And as much as I hate that it happened, he deserved it. Because one thing I hated, I was like, no, fool, get your shit, get off stage, admit this offline. Especially as a black man, we cannot afford to do that. And you guys are going to see an example once you catch up on the show about that. You're going to see how that ends up happening, because it doesn't play out in his favor. But I do also like, I'm gonna get to the last thing, because last thing gonna play into a big point. They're actually giving it an LA type of vibe now. So they had like, the scene with street racing in it. I'm not gonna go into detail. If you see the street racing scene, some of y'all gonna be like, what they trying to Fast and Furious did? Cause low key it felt like that, but you know what it was. I mean, I was like, okay, it was corny, but I get it. But I love they were in downtown LA or DTLA. They went to like a lowrider show, and they being real true to the essence, not just with the lowrider show, but one of the people they had in there, he didn't have any lines, but he was right there in the front with the extras at the end. They had the homie Watts, homie Quan in there. Social media sensation. I'm like, okay, I love that. They getting true to the SLA. So okay, I dig that. So thus far for me, I love what I've seen from Bel-Air. I get better. I just want to get better every week. So I'm gonna be updating y'all a little bit more about that as time goes on. That's the end of our time on the porch this week, man. I had a real good time kicking it with y'all, man. You want to find me on social media, y'all see my name. Y'all find me on Facebook under that name. Instagram, PETEYMAC10, PeteMac10. And the same thing on TikTok, just with an 89 at the end, PeteMac89. So, been cool and love talking to y'all as always, but be cool, stay calm, and get paid. Peace.